Well, hello there. It is Thursday, March 6th. And, wow, yeah, a little bit later in the day, but I was catching up on the news and had some things to do, so I wasn't able to hop online. But here I am. It's my mom's birthday. She would have been 77 years old, so happy birthday, Mom. I know you're doing okay up there. So, anyway, I'm just kind of like, what do I want to talk about today? We could talk about Trump and his backing off on the stupid fucking tariffs. I mean, talk about just adding uncertainty to the whole business world, right? And it's not just in the States, it's in Canada, Mexico, worldwide. People, companies, and just they don't know what to do, you don't know what to plan for. But it just goes to show that, when you apply pressure to a guy like Trump, be it Canada with the tariffs, the big three automakers who, rightfully went to the White House and said, look, fuckstick, if you do this, you're going to decimate the auto industry. You know, he just backs down. I don't understand why he thinks tariffs are such a great thing. He's like 100 years ago, but yeah, man, 100 years ago the world was different and the U.S. economy was different. So, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like Canada's not taken off their initial $30 billion worth of tariffs, which I think is good. We need to set something up where we're not doing this every goddamn fucking 30 days. Just punting it down the road, always holding this threat of tariffs over our shoulders or over our heads. I'm sorry, you know, doing his little dance. Trump says jump, and Canada's supposed to say how high. Well, I don't agree with that. So I think that we need to definitely hold firm and just stay strong. But we definitely need to get into an election here sooner rather than later. So it'll be good once the Liberal leadership race is done on Sunday and we can get on to getting something in place. Yeah, so there's that. But then, I don't know, man. Yesterday there was some pretty fucked up shit coming out of the Chinese embassy in the United States. I don't know if anybody saw that, but the ambassador put out a tweet stating that China was ready for war, be it a trade war, tariff war, any type of war, and they're willing to see it all the way through to the end. You got France today, Macron talking about offering France's nuclear umbrella as protection for Europe. And, shit is escalating pretty fucking fast. And it's a stressful time, it's scary. I don't lose sleep over it. I'm not like, oh my God, the world's going to end. Where I'm located, if nuclear war ever happens where I live, I'm an hour, 20 minutes north of Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana, Great Falls. And 1/3 of the USA's ICBMs are about an hour away from me, buried in their underground silos. So, needless to say, if shit goes south, it's not going to end well for Lethbridge, Alberta, because the nuclear fallout is going to be nasty. Yeah, so you can't stress out and worry about that stuff, but it's still, it's very unnerving when you get the saber rattling and stuff, which leads me to, this whole Trump is a president of peace, and I never once believed it, and I don't believe it now. I think that he's not. The actions and stuff that are happening in relation to his threats to Canada, the verbiage that he's using, 51st state, and now what? There's Mexican cartels are embedded in Canada, and Navarro said redrawing the Canadian borders. It's exactly the same words that Putin used with Ukraine, right? It's the same words that Hitler used with Czechoslovakia and Austria, and strong-arm dictators use the same language throughout history. It doesn't matter if you're in 1935 or 1935 or 2025, right? And that's just China's looking at all of this. Russia's looking at all of this. And you got Trump saying, well, if the NATO allies aren't paying, we're not going to protect them. And if I was Taiwan, I would be really, really, really worried. I watch a lot of documentaries. I like to think I'm pretty up to date on stuff. And, there's word that China is preparing to invade Taiwan by 2027. And, with what's going on in the world now, that's just looking more and more likely. I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. I don't think China's quite ready enough yet for a full-on onslaught with the USA. But that's under the assumption if USA is even going to, come to Taiwan's defense. If not, then, when it's done and done, right? So we are in a very, very dangerous, dangerous time in history. I'm 50 years old, and growing up, we had, the practice sirens in the town I grew up in, for nuclear fallout. I even remember, nuclear drills hiding under your desk because that was going to do a lot with a nuclear blast, right? But, and here we are. The world just doesn't learn. And, there's talk about Canada acquiring nukes, and I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe we might have to. Can't rely on the United States, but then, is the United States going to be comfortable with a nuclear armed country right at its border? Right? So, it's escalation, and then once something happens, and that's just it, right? Something is going to happen. Whether it's a terrorist attack, a protest got too rowdy, something. Right? There's just one event. You look at World War One. Assassination of the Archduke, and right, just takes one event and it starts a snowball down a hill, and it just keeps growing and growing until it gets to the point in time where you're not able to stop that snowball, and you just got to let it ride it through to the bottom. Unfortunately, at this stage in history, we have the means to utterly destroy the planet, like 100 times over. So, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. On my last post, I was talking about, yesterday, March 5th, being a tough day for me, and I didn't really touch on the mental health aspect of it. Mental health is, as a guy who's dealt with depression, and I've had mental health issues majority of my adult life, it's hard. It's hard. And then you look at the world today and the way things are, and social media, and you're getting bombarded with news, and everywhere you go, it's just bad news. And that can wear on a person, right? So, just got to make sure that you take care of each other, take care of yourselves. Even me, I find myself, I can get sucked into the whole of social media or watching YouTube videos, news, and it just consumes you. So, yeah, I got to remember to put the phone down, disengage, watch a movie, go for a walk, hang out with friends. We got to take care of each other because it's going to be a long 4+ years. And when I say 4 years, I don't mean 4 years. It's going to be longer than that. MAGA is so rooted into the American psyche and American political system. And there's a lot of people who are so far down into the rabbit hole that they're not going to come out. You had that in Nazi Germany. You had it in, fascist Mussolini Italy. Yeah, they're just that committed to the cause. And, and that's sad. It's sad, but, it is what it is, so we just got to deal with it. So anyway, I just wanted to throw a few thoughts out there and depress everybody and scare some people and stuff and say, hey, you know what? We got a lot of saber rattling going on. But the world is a good place. It's still happiness here. There's still love. And there's still good things to fight for. So fight fascism. Take care of each other. Just take care of yourself.